Welcome to the Fearful Fright series, where we will be reading with our favorite green ghoul, Grimmer. Now sit back and enjoy this twisted tale. Today our story is called A Night in Pennsylvania. I'm Manny Hernandez. And me and my family just moved into this old creepy house in Pennsylvania. We moved all the way from New Mexico. I had to leave my old neighborhood, and my old friends too. Just because my dad got this new job. My father's a historian for museums. And his job would bring him to different archaeological sites around America. He was sent to Pennsylvania to analyze and authenticate Civil War artifacts. We took I-40, east, and got there after 25 hours. It felt like forever, but eventually we made it to our new home. As we pulled up in the moving truck, we noticed how big the yard was. And we were stuck pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Nice, I told my dad. I'm sure I'll find lots of friends here, I said sarcastically. Oh Manny, my dad said. You'll be in school after this summer. And I'm sure you'll find a lot of friends. Yeah, I guess, I replied. Then me and my family got out of the truck and began to unload everything. It took us all day. But we managed to get everything moved in. When we started unpacking, I had a few things that I needed to store. I should put it in the attic, I thought. So I grabbed the box, and began heading to the attic. When I opened the attic door, I could see all the old things the old owners must have left behind. There was an old couch covered in dust. And just behind it was a large map in a picture frame. I could hardly see it. So I wiped the dust off with my shirt. And I noticed the map resembled my house, and the surrounding area. Well, I thought this was kinda interesting, so I brought it downstairs to show my father. Hey Dad, I said. Take a look at this. I think it's an old map of the old house's location. My father placed the big picture-framed map on the table and began examining it. Oh, my father said. What do you know? I believe it is our general location. That's cool, I told my father. Do you think I can hang it on my wall? I think it will look awesome in there. And he agreed. As I hung it on my wall and looked it over, I could see the map was made in 1863. Man, that's old, I thought. That was during the Civil War. Later that night, as I sat in my new bedroom, I could hear something in the backyard. It sounded like a gun being fired. Then I heard the same noise, from the front of the yard. Just then my mother and father burst open my bedroom door. What's going on? Are you all right? My father said in a panicked voice. I don't know, I replied. It sounded like gunshots, I told them. As we looked out the window, we could see 40 to 60 men walking, with their rifles in hand. My father opened the window and began whistling. Hey, my father said. What do you think you're doing? This is private property, he went on. I'm calling the police. But they didn't pay us any attention. They just completely ignored us. Then we seen they were walking towards our front door. So we all three rushed to the door. But when we got there, that's when we seen it. These men were materializing, right through our walls. These weren't men at all. At least, not anymore. They looked transparent. But clearly, we could see that these were Confederate soldiers. We all just stood there in disbelief. Then my mom screamed, and yelled, look. She was pointing at the back door. When we did, we could now see the Union Army. And that's when things got really crazy. The two forces began to fire upon one another. We seen holes, just ripping through the walls. Everyone, get in the basement now. My mother yelled. So we all started crawling to the basement. When we got down there, we all hid in a small storage room located in the corner of the basement. What's going on, Dad? I asked. I don't know. They looked just like ghosts. But their bullets seemed pretty real to me, he said. We stayed huddled together all night. We could still hear guns being fired and men screaming. And even what sounded like cannons. Then cannonballs began tearing through the house. Eventually morning came. We noticed as the sun began rising, all of the sound stopped. So we slowly made our way upstairs. As we got to the top of the stairs, we could see our house was perfectly intact. We all just looked around confused. We have to move immediately, I told my parents. My dad just looked at me and stared. We can't. We spent all of our savings purchasing this house.